Well, it has been a bit of a slow week around here. I finally finished today getting all the seam sealer out of my strut towers on the green car. And this morning, me and Brandon made a trip down to Launderville Steel in Wausau. We took the old square body, and that's not what I bought. That's a Subaru roof. But got myself I got myself a 3-inch pipe. That is going to be my new rocker panel, and we got some 1.5-inch pipe. So the 1.5-inch pipe is going to be my half cage, and the 3-inch pipe is my plan for my rocker panels. I think I still got this piece in here. So this is what I've been planning. Cutting out the rocker panels, and then a 3-inch pipe will fill that nicely. It'll add a little bit of its own body line to it. I don't really know what to consider that, but otherwise, I mean, a 3-inch pipe, cut this at a nice line across the top, best as I can, dealing with the rust, and we'll get this guy in here. I'm still a little man how I'm going to take care of the pinch weld action of it, but it's going to at least have a solid rocker panel. I'm looking at doing it that way because, well, it's a drift car. Some tracks have some pretty, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't even say I know. I really haven't been to a lot of tracks, but, you know, if you go off track, it might save the side of the car. It's probably going to stiffen up the car even still a lot, so should be interesting. We'll see what happens with it, but that is my plan, so like it if you do, make fun of me if you don't. I guess I don't know. I've wanted to try that for quite a while, and this has always been kind of the car I've had in mind to try it on, so gonna give it a shot finally and see what we can do. But right now I'm going to be making some panels for the rear strut towers where the GCs like to rot out on the inner wheel well side of it. The strut tower itself is solid, but I will show you. I think I showed it in one of the last clips. This is the driver's side. So, not ideal. I mean, it's not ideal, but I don't know. This car has been beat pretty hard with it like that, and I don't see it as extremely structural. I'm at least going to make some panels to fill them in, and then seam sealer them, and I am going to cut out the rust that's there. But it's not going to be perfect. This is a drift car. I at least want to just get those sealed up so that to keep some smoke from coming inside the car might help a little bit. But we'll see. I'm not trying to do a shady repair job. I'm just trying to seal it up. So that's all it is. Even my rocker or my quarter panel patches I made here, I mean, those are pretty half-assed in my opinion, but everybody who's looked at them says they're pretty good. So maybe these will turn out pretty good too. We'll see. But that's my plan. I'm going to start getting those cut up and just keep trucking along. I'll try and film bits and pieces of it, but I'm not going to film the whole thing. It's just kind of tedious work. It's in a very hard area to film up in the fender well there, so I'm just going to get her banged out. That way we can keep getting closer to doing more fun things. So just going to get her done. Well, here's my panel that I came up with to go on the inside of there. I'm not going to do anything fancy with bending it beforehand. I got it so it fits nice and tight along this top edge and down around here, and then it's going to get bent right around here, kind of. So I'm just going to form it in the car. It's going to be a lot easier. Got it all cleaned up. This here's the passenger side. Got it all cleaned up, my rust cut out, and I just sprayed a bunch of weld-through primer all over the inside of this, and just going to go for it. I tried getting around the backside of the lip there as best I could, but who cares? This thing's rough. Just going to hopefully seal her up a little bit better than it is right now. Well, here's how she turned out. I got the top of the top hat there stitch welded in. Those welds definitely turned out like shit, so don't mind that. And the panel all stitch welded in as well. Don't mind the shitty welds on that as well. The metal is very shitty on the bottom portion of here, so did what I could, just stitch welded her. Gonna seam seal it all up. It should be enough to keep smoke out of the cabin while I'm drifting, so that will be all it needs to do for me. So, time to move on to the other side. Well, I got extremely lucky. I was able to reuse the same exact template I made for the other side. Just had to modify it through here a bit and take a little, well, on the other one I angled the top here a little more after I got the piece cut out, so I added that into this just to make my life hopefully a little easier. And yeah, gonna go transfer it onto the Subaru roof over there and start forming it in the car. Well, I think I've decided to take a couple of day break from working on the GC, and I think I'm going to jump on a project for the old square body. Give it some love since I haven't really done much with it the last few months since we got it on the road up and going. So during Iola I ended up getting a front bumper for it, and it's just been kind of sitting next to the truck, and haven't really had much motivation to put it on, so figured this week might be a good week. I signed the truck up for a car show in Eagle River this weekend, so putting the bumper on, it's really one of the main finishing touches it needs, so why not see if we can get it mounted on there. I got to make custom brackets for it and go from there. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be my usual, see what we can come up with out of my metal I got laying around and get ourselves a bumper on here. Make it look pretty complete. The bumper's going to tie it together really nicely. I'm pretty excited for it. I think I showed it a while ago, but this is the bumper I got. It's actually a 70s bumper, not an 80s bumper, at least according to the guy I got it from. I personally don't know the styles of bumpers for these trucks, but for 60 bucks I figured I might as well take her home. It's not the bumper I want for this truck. I would like to find an old school winch bumper for it, but obviously nothing's popped up yet. And that was cheap. Might as well get her thrown on there and see what happens. Diesel, come check it out. Yeah, you're just gonna pass through? Yep. But yeah, still looking for corner trim and another headlight bezel, but other than that, I was able to find all those other pieces. I don't remember if I gave an update on that or not. I found all those pieces laying in the back of the garage when I was cleaning up some stuff, so that was a huge bonus. And definitely makes it look a lot nicer. But this truck has been overall great. I'm truly extremely proud of myself for it. I haven't put a lot of miles on it, but I mean, I've driven it around town quite a bit, back and forth to work. Me and my buddy Brandon took it to Wausau last Saturday to go pick up the steel for my half cage for the green car, and she made it 45-minute drive again just fine, no problem somehow. So yeah, overall just couldn't be any happier with it. I do still need to relocate my gas cap from there up to right there, but once again, that's just one of those projects that's going to wait till I'm motivated for it. And right now, I'm motivated for a bumper, so let's go ahead and start mounting a bumper. Well, I don't have too much of an idea for this yet. Got me a chunk of angle iron to lay in here and make some brackets. And I have some 90s Chevy bumper brackets that I think I'm going to try and make work if possible. So see what happens here. Not sure what I'm going to come up with yet. I've been thinking about it for a day or so now and really haven't come up with something. So I guess I just need to dive into it and see what the heck happens. Well, I got some bad news. The bumper looks really good on the truck. I just got it set up on some jack stands, kind of mocked up. But this is a 70s front bumper. And I don't know if it's because it's a 70s front bumper or if it's because of how I made the front end of this truck. There is a chance when I made the front end of this truck that I accidentally narrowed it up slightly, which is possible because I did have this whole core support cut out to fit the Dodge stuff in there. So it is possible that these bottom ends are maybe tweaked in and narrowed it up. But you can see my corners. To me, that's a pretty unpleasant gap. So I think I'm going to scrap the idea of this bumper. This bumper was probably going to be temporarily on here anyway, but I thought it'd be a nice addition to get put on here for the car show this weekend. But oh well, I'm going to keep my eyes out for a nice 80s style winch bumper. That's what I ideally want on here, so I think that's the plan I'm going to continue on. But I have another 70s bumper at least. Have that laying around just in case, but looks good on there. Definitely sad that it's too wide on the edges, but it happens once in a while.
Well, Zach and I went to get a new set of wheels for the square body today. Cleaned up really good, but we got to do some clearancing to fit them over the hubs. Yeah, they look really good. Alright, we got 3 out of 4 clearanced and washed up. Zach's on the last one right now. I threw this one on this side. Boy, do they look good. Woo!
So we finished messing around with the truck a fair bit late last night, but new rims and tires. Very happy with how them turned out on here. Those are off of a early 2000s 2500 Chevy. And they match exactly the look I was going for now. Still want to get some bigger tires down the road, but that is what it is. Right now I'm on a budget, so I can't really play with too many big tire size options to see what'll fit. So we're going to keep it with 265s for at least this year. Maybe next year I'll start playing around with some different tire options, but at least we can drive the truck around, not have to worry about blowing a tire out again. So I don't think I really mentioned anything about that. I went to a car show last weekend with the truck, and well, I ended up completely delaminating a tire. All the tread's gone. So it still holds air for 3 or 4 days if you air it up, but like I said, it ate. All the tread blew off of it. That's no good. They're 15-year-old tires. My dumbass was asking for it, running them, but we do what we do. We came out safe at least this time, so it is what it is. Now we've got better tires, so I ain't gonna complain. But that is the square body for now. Thing's just been doing great. I haven't been putting a lot of miles on it, but we've been making sure to drive her and have some fun with her. So she's overall just doing good. Can't complain at all.